Right, hello everybody. This is the 10 questions challenge, and I've been nominated by a few people actually. Ivy Ling, Tina from Hummingbird Tales, and Maggie from Boho Bliss on Facebook. I will put it all in the description box there, YouTube channels and everything. Okay, right, so first one, is while I'm talking, I thought I would go through the Halloween stuff that I've collected together, and because I went over my sister's and got a few bits and pieces to do my Halloween journal because she had a lot. So don't get me wrong, I've got a lot, but once I've done it I will give it back to her, if you know what I mean. So I just sort of borrowed it and then I'll give it all back, so you might see quite a lot of stuff. This, you know, I'm not going to use it all. It's all for well, this was my first inspiration, so I will tell you that I went over there and saw some of these papers, and that's what inspired me to do a Halloween journal. So that's all I'm going to talk about. That let's get on with the questions. My name, yeah, my YouTube name, I think, because I didn't quite get all the questions off Ivy Ling, if you know what I mean, and I think there was two that was actually quite the same, like favourite craft and my favourite craft so far. So I'm not sure whether that was the correct questions, but that's all I tended to get from, you know, listening, really. Right, yeah, okay, my name. See, I've lost it already. I'm not very good at doing things like this because I wander off. So if I wander off, you just shout at me and tell me to come back. YouTube name, Artie Mays. Well, I was Artie Mays anyway in my card making days. And how I come up with that name was I love art of any kind, and I never classed myself as an artist. I classed myself as arty because I was very arty and, you know, loved doing anything with art, but I never classed myself as an artist. So that was the arty bit come from. And the maze bit was my brain. Right. My brain is just like a maze with all these different channels going everywhere. And I'm hoping that I find my way out. Do you see what I mean? And by creating different things is the way I find my way, myself out of my maze. So I know it sounds really silly, but I come up with Artie Maze. So and I named it, and I had it all on the back of my cards and everything. And after about 6 months, I thought, why didn't I go with Artie Made? You know, M-A-D-E, because of being like living in Cornwall. You know, I thought Artie Made would have been brilliant. But anyway, Maze it stays. And it does roll off the tongue, which, you know, Artie Maze. A lot of people think it's Anti-Maze or something like that, and they do search for Anti-Maze. Yeah, so I'm not. I'm Artie Maze. Yeah. Well, that's question one anyway. That's how I come up with that. Oh, that was, that was question two. So my name is Andrea Allen, sorry. That was the first question, and I've just answered the second question. My favourite craft, wow. Yes, it's definitely junk journaling at the moment. And of course, my digital work. I love digital work with a passion. I've done it for very many years, self-taught. I used to design greeting cards and things, not only locally, because even though my husband said, oh, you should, you know, do something bigger and things like that. No, I just couldn't get my head around it because I was working as a hairdresser and I didn't have the time. It wasn't until I had to give up hairdressing because of ill health. My body just gave up, really. You know, 30 years of blow drying and standing up just to play havoc with my body, and so I had to give up. And it wasn't until I gave up that I sort of said, right, you know, let's do something about the digital side of it. But I've always been passionate. I actually got the first ever computer, home computer, for the home. And I remember playing around with images when you only got one on a little floppy drive. That's all it would take, because it wouldn't take any more. And I used to mess around with images back then, and you're talking of 30 years, I don't know, I can't remember. But so yeah, so I do love that, but I need to be hands-on as well. All right, and I love mixed media, and I love junk journaling. And what I like doing is actually, oh my god, there's people in here, look. You see that? Oh, sorry, see, I've wandered off. Look, there's a person in there. That's a ghost. That's a great little journal. Where did I get to? Yeah, so what I like to do, try and do, is incorporate, because I do sort of miss my art journaling, but I haven't got time for it. So I thought by doing a bit of mixed media in my junk journals lets me have my little happy place, you know, because I love my digitals and I like working with the kits, but I want to treat my kits like any other piece of paper. If I want to change it, I will change it, you know, with products like gesso and things like that. And so I just treat it exactly the same. Yeah, so junk journaling definitely is my favourite craft, because I do have to make things, you know, physically. So that's important to me. Right. Oh, where I like to shop. Oh my gosh. Anywhere and everywhere, to be honest. Amazon, because thank gosh for Amazon, because locally we can't get, actually my sister took this photograph, I'm sure that's one of hers, and then she's sort of washed it out, and look at that, that's amazing. I think that's a view from her house, actually. That's some lace which she's copied in and scanned out. Yep, sorry, I'm wandering again. Yep, so Amazon, because you can buy from America, you know, and get things that we can't get here, you know, like the Tim Holtz things. So I struggle here. Etsy I like. I'm going to be honest with you here, I do still shop on AliExpress. I know it sounds really silly considering that they've stole some of my work, okay, but there is a reason. The laces and things like that, oh my god, they're so expensive in the UK, you wouldn't believe it. You're talking of, you go to a haberdashery, they're like £2.50 a metre or something so silly like that. Now people say, well, why don't you go to eBay? Okay, why don't you buy off Etsy? Yeah, okay, yeah, brilliant, but oh, I like that one. They get their products from somewhere like AliExpress. Okay, so instead of going around the houses, I just get it off AliExpress. You know, I'm careful where I buy things off, you know, who I buy them off. But yeah, I mean, again, there's going to be legitimate people on AliExpress, right? It's not the whole Chinese community that are stealing other people's work. There's some, you know, very nice people in China, and same as everywhere, you know. So that's what I do, and I quite like the concept that they don't get the money if you don't get your product. They don't get their money, because you have to actually say, you know, that product has been delivered. So that's great, and I've been reimbursed when it didn't turn up. There was no problem with it whatsoever. So yeah, I know it, you know, a lot of you will say, well, why do you do that? I know, but needs must sometimes. That's all I can say. There's certain things I cannot get here or find here, so I will purchase them where I can. I like charity shops, the scrap store where you pay a subscription every year, and oh, these are mine. Pay a subscription every year, and you just go in and get stuff for free. Oh, some of these will be misprints, by the way. Yeah, that's a misprint. Oh, I'm saying a lot, sorry. Yeah, scrap store. Yeah, you get stuff for 3. Just, I think it's £50 a year, and that went up last year from 35 to 50. And you go in and you can just fill your basket up. But it's, you know, it's damp and cold and horrible in there, but you can get some good things sometimes. So, and it's okay because we tea stain all the materials, washed and ironed, you know, it's not a problem. So I do that. I also shop Works, Hobbycraft, car boot sales I love. I get a lot of fabric and things from car boot sales, and I bought, you know, like stamps and things like that. I buy sort of job lots sometimes, I'm lucky. Where else? All the range in the UK, but you know, I get tired of those places, to be honest, because they don't change a lot. Seems to be, you know, same old stuff in there. So I go for, you know, your glues, and I don't actually buy my glue there anymore, but you know, my gesso and things like that I normally get from there, but like I'm well stocked up with that at the moment. So yeah, that's my shopping. Yeah, and I shop online too, you know, in different shops. If I see something I want and that comes up in Google search, I search for it, and it comes up, then I get it from there. So, and there's a good place actually that I'm going to start shopping from, because they've been in contact with me, and Crafts UK. And to be honest, you only have to order £15 worth, which I thought was really, really good. And their prices are quite competitive with everybody else. I like that one. And I'm sort of like, you know, going to start buying from them and not promoting them, but work with them a little bit, you know. And because I just think they're actually a very good company and their prices are pretty good. And to offer the £15, you know, minimum order on free postage is pretty good. So that's a new project coming up. Okay, on with the next question then, which is number 5, top 5 crafters on YouTube. Well, I have no favourites actually. I watch a lot of mixed media. I watch a lot of journal makers, of course I do. I tend to watch them at night, and I just sort of flip through some. Of course, you know, I watch Yvonne, Gayle and people like that, because, you know, without those, I wouldn't be here where I am today. You know, they've been amazing. My design team, you know, no, I haven't mentioned you all. I'm very sorry, because I can't remember you all. I should have a list, which I will. What I'm going to do is, the best thing I can do is put a list of all my design team members in this video. And because, you know, they're all worth a mention, and they are amazing. And without them, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. And please don't forget Yvonne. She has been the biggest help to me that you can imagine. Absolutely amazing, and I thank her from the bottom of my heart. You know, she's didn't need to, but she's gone out of her way to help me, really, and I'm very, very thankful. My mixed media people I watch is definitely, is it Laurie? Oh gosh, what's her name? Laurie Marie Jenkins, is it? I love her. She is so grungy and she's so natural, and she says things like, "Oh, I'll see you on the table," or "I'll meet you on the table," and I think she's great. And she comes up with some really wacky things, and she doesn't mind if it goes wrong. You know, I just love it, and very natural. I do tend to like people that are quite natural, not too much staged things. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still watch them, but I actually like the videos that are very sort of like you're with them, you know, you're chatting with them and things like that. So Oh, there's loads out there. I mean, oh my gosh, Paula Lemon. I used to watch her all the time, but then she went quiet for a bit. Laurie Fusco, you know, oh, just all of you, you know, whoever does videos, and even that don't, you're just all amazing. And I get inspiration from loads of different places. Oops. And I just try to put it together, so that's all I do. I got all caught up then, sorry. Yeah, so I'm not, you know, I find it very hard to name top people, because I do change as well from what I'm watching. 1 minute I'm watching mixed media, next minute I'm watching about machine embroidery. Then I'm watching about freehand embroidery, because I used to do a lot of embroidery years ago, or stencil. And yeah, so I just have these little obsessions, and then I can't get enough of it, you know, and I'm watching all the time. Yeah, so that's it really. I would feel bad missing somebody out, you know, because there's so many fantastic people out there that are willing to share their knowledge, and you know, I think it'd be a shame to miss anybody out. I could the list could have been endless, to be honest, you know. Definitely. I mean, there's many album makers that I used to watch years ago, you know, and a lot of their stuff can be incorporated into junk journaling, you know. So, you know, get out there and watch them, you know, like scrapbook.com and places like that, you know. I belong to them. I see bits and pieces sometimes, and I thought, oh yeah, we can adapt that to this, you know, and do things like that. So, a lot of die cuts here and spiders and things. So, yeah, so that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Okay, favourite colour is definitely, always has been, aquamarine. That is my favourite colour. Love it. So that's an easy one. I like the colour of the ocean. I used to live quite, you know, right in the middle of England up until 1986, and then of course come to move to Cornwall, and it's like really, it was quite away. Oh, I didn't show you those, did I? Quite away from the sea, and I always loved the ocean. I loved water. I was you know, done a lot of swimming years ago when I was at school. Breaststroke was my favourite stroke, and I just loved any kind of water. I actually learned to swim in the River Thames. I know it sounds awful, especially if you live near the River Thames and know it as the River Thames, all dirty and murky. Okay, where I came from, it's literally 7 springs that all join together to create the River Thames. People think it actually starts at Didcot. It doesn't. It carries on. And that's where I sort of actually lived, on the River Thames, and I learned to swim in it. It's only about 25 feet wide, but that's where I learned to swim. And it was clear and it was beautiful. So yeah, always love the water. And when I come to Cornwall, I was like, oh my dear, this is just beautiful. My sister already lived here, then my mum came here, then my other sister came here, then I did, and then my brother. So we all ended up here, so, which was lovely. And that's why I like the colour of aquamarine, the see-through turquoise ocean. Right, favourite craft tool. Well, it's got to be, without a doubt, that. Okay, I could not live without that. Because it punches through everything, it's lovely, and I've tried other ones and they're useless after about, yeah, so I love it, love it, love it. Okay, I have got quite a few favourites, but that's the main one that I really wouldn't want to do without. And of course the trimmer and normal things like that. And the other one is envelope punch. Even though, to be honest, I don't use it much anymore. I tend to fold everything. But when I was card making, this was a godsend, and mini albums as well, godsend. Okay, so that is the two top tools anyway. Don't need to go any further than that with those, because there's too many there that I would say, oh yeah, I love that, you know, and I do. I love tools. I'm a tool freak. I have to buy them. When I see them, I oh, see what that's like, you know. Especially we are memory keepers. Oh my gosh, you know, I just love their stuff, and I actually collect it. I've got a whole box full of it, and I occasionally get them out and have a play. Oh, my Big Shot. I love my Big Shot, and my scanning cut. Do you see? It's endless, isn't it? Okay, number 8. Where does your love of craft come from? Okay, I've always been obsessed with pens and paper from the year dot. I love drawing, and I wouldn't say I was very good at art like that, but I just loved it. I had always loved paper, always loved pens, and I always felt if I had pen and paper with me, I was always occupied. Didn't do any for a few years, you know, with working and different things. So I actually went to work with horses for, oh gosh, 6 years, something like that. And then, Harry Potter. So I'm wandering off again. I'm getting inspiration now. Yeah, so I went to work with horses, and then I suffered really badly with the cold, with chilblains, and I had to give up, really. And then that's when, because my sister had the hair salon, went into hairdressing and found that, you know, a little bit arty, sort of. I started drawing again with that, really. Actually, it really fits. So, because we had to draw faces and hair and things like that, so it sort of got me going a little bit in that way. And then becoming a hairdresser, I felt as though my art side of things were being satisfied with doing people's hair, you know, because it's a form of art. So I was okay. And then, my first marriage, got a bit bored, really. Yeah, I did. Sorry to say that, but I did. And I started making paper. You know, I was up till 2 or 3 o'clock at night just making paper, and then started playing around with graphics. And so it got hold of me then. Then I decided that, because I didn't have any children at the time, I thought, I'll buy another horse. So, of course, then I started horse riding again, and I was okay for a while with the horses, because they sort of, you know, filled a hole in my life, I suppose, as you say. And then that went on until really I split up then, you know, got divorced from my husband, and I started making cards when I was on my own, and then I was supplying people, you know, because we live in a local sort of tourist place, very touristy, so I had made cards, and then in the salon I would sell them in the salon. People then were wanting me to make them. So, and then I went from that to mini albums, and then I was making them for people, and it just progressed, really. But yeah, my dad used to draw. My mum was quite artistic, really, as well. So, you know, it was there. My sister was Janet Hicks, very, very artistic. So it's been there, really. Okay. Oh, when did I start crafting? Yeah, well, that sort of answered that question, didn't I, really? Well, 1990, seriously. That's when I started. But before then, I just dabbled in bits of drawings and, yeah. But I was never very good at drawing. I was awful. Yeah, really, really bad. Oh, look at this. It's all gorgeous, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah, I wasn't very good. But about 5 years ago when I was poorly, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to learn to draw. Especially because I've always wanted to draw faces properly. Yeah. And I couldn't get any perspective right, nothing. It was really bad. But anyway, I just done it. I went back to the basics like you would do at primary school. I drew like an apple and a pear and a fruit and silly things like that. But I still don't like fine art. I'm one that likes mixed media and art journaling, all that sort of thing. So I went back and done that. And literally every day I had to draw something. I was determined, and then I'd done a lot of art journaling things, you know, where you pay and you sort of do a year's thing. I've done that, and I've got a few books on that. I have shown one of my art journal books. They are quite funny, but I've got earlier ones than that were even funnier. Half of it I didn't get. I thought, oh yeah, right. That's, yeah. So, yeah, I did. But 1990, sort of seriously, and then it started to grow. Everything started to grow. My digital work was, 3 years ago? But again, when I used to card making, I used to do digital work then and print my own cards out because they always wanted nautical around here, so I used to print them out myself and do them all up and handcraft, end up handcrafting them, but they were digitally done, and then I handcrafted the end bits, which, adding the glitter and things like that. So, but then I got bored because I was mass producing, and I'm not very good at that. I've just seen this. I mean, oh my gosh, that for that Gothic glam journal. So I keep that for that. That is just amazing. I'm going to use that. I'll do one of them one day. It's not really my colour, but I will push myself. Yeah, so that's that. And my favourite craft so far, I think I've answered that, is definitely junk journaling, without a doubt. Love it. Mixed media. Love mixed media. And I love doing up junk. A bit of cardboard, that's pretty. Yeah. So I love that. So that's it, really. Yeah. Sorry, my mind is wandering now. It's because I really want to get started on this now because I've finished that other journal. Some beautiful velvet here. Don't know how big that is. I'll keep that for the Gothic glam, I think. I might just make a journal cover out of that. Some of this, some black lace. Where I just got the black lace out because of needing it, but I might not. I might keep some of this. Oh, there's another piece of that. That's quite a big bit. Oh, that's definitely a journal cover there. No problem. But Gothic glam, definitely for that. Yeah, so I'm sorry if it got a bit long, some of my answers, and a bit repetitive actually, some of them I noticed, because they all sort of led into the other question, a lot of them. Yeah. Oh, because, there was one, wasn't it, my a favourite craft, whereas that one is really answered in number 2, isn't it? Oh, that's beautiful too. So I'll carry on showing you the end bits of this. Thank you very much for watching. Who I nominate? Well, of course I would have nominated Yvonne, but I think she's been nominated quite a few times. So I'm going to nominate Tina from Hummingbird Tales. But I think, again, she's been nominated. Karen, I think she's been nominated. And, I don't know whether, is it G. Kerr? Sorry. G. Kerr. I'm not sure whether she's been nominated. So, I just thought of G. Kerr because she's been messaging me, and I thought, oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to nominate her. But again, she may have been nominated, so. But that's who I'm going to nominate. Oh, this is nice. I have no idea where this came from. No idea. This wasn't Janet. This is my stash. I just found it. I'm so pleased I did look for it though, because I found that one that somebody sent me ages ago, which I'd done in another video. And I went, oh no, I don't think I thanked her or anything. And I was like, oh gosh, it was because it was my craft studio at the time was having a new floor, and everything was in a mess, and it got put in with all my black stuff, and I just have not got my black stuff out for anything. I love that too, like butterfly. So I'm really sorry, but I have put it on a video. So here we go. Oh look, googly eye. Oh, you could do a picture and put one googly eye. That would be quite scary, wouldn't it? Oh, I have started a picture. Hold on. Right, okay. It's not finished or anything like that. I've done another one in here. So I rip pieces. I've done that one. I've just done that because what I'm doing, I'm only doing these very quickly. That's what I decided, because sometimes years ago I used to, I'd spend a couple of days on something like that, where now I'm just literally just doing it very quickly, an hour maybe, and that's it. And I'm saying done. I'm not worrying anymore. Okay, that was another hour one. Well, this one I started last night. I took it, I think there's a stamp out there that looks like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to work with that. So they're not finished or anything. I'm going to do the teeth a bit pointier, and yeah, so that is going to be my Halloween picture. So yeah, I've just done it with watercolours, but yeah, that's it. So I hope you have a good laugh over that. Okay, thank you very much for watching then, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.